So I'm here with Sam Perlman from the Door County Maritime Museum. Sam, tell me about your work in the museum and about the museum itself.
Absolutely. I'm so excited to be here. Thank you. Door County Maritime Museum in beautiful northeastern Wisconsin. We are the peninsula that creates the Bay of Green Bay as we stick out into Lake Michigan on the eastern shore, or the western shore of Lake Michigan, but on the east side of the state of Wisconsin. We have 3 museum locations. Our main museum is in Sturgeon Bay, and that's open year-round. Our original museum site is up at the tip of the peninsula, or we call the tip of the thumb, the Death's Door Maritime Museum. And then we also operate and manage the historic 1896 Cana Island Lighthouse in Bailey's Harbor, Wisconsin.
Wow. Now, what is your role at the museum?
I'm the Deputy Director and Development Manager, so lots of fundraising, lots of marketing, helping our President and CEO manage the circus that we inherited about 6.5 years ago.
Yeah, fantastic. Now, you were just speaking about a new site that you were developing for storage.
Yeah, we are in the bigger picture is that we are pursuing accreditation with the American Alliance of Museums. And one of the things you have to do is demonstrate excellent collections care. And right now we have a couple of small storage units that do not have HVAC, so they would never meet accreditation standards. So we've been looking at our options, and we just found a 23,000 square foot former manufacturing facility that we will be purchasing the middle of this year. We'll do some renovation work, and that will be the new home for our collections and our archives.
That is tremendous. Now, a little earlier, you were telling me an interesting story about how Door County got its name.
Yes, so the waters between the tip of the peninsula and Washington Island was called by the French Porte de Mort, or Death's Door. There are many legends and stories as to how it got that name, whether there were Native American stories or French. The waters of that area are very treacherous because you have the warmer waters of the bay hitting the cooler waters of the lake. You will often have winds and currents that are going in opposing directions. And in the days of sail, it was a very treacherous passage, and so they called it Porte de Mort, Death's Door. And we figured it was call it Door County instead of Death County.
Wow, that's amazing. That's amazing. And you also recently finished your 10-story addition to the original museum.
Yeah, so what we now call the Legacy Museum in Sturgeon Bay was built in 1996, opened to the public in 97, and we are very limited. We're right on the water, the working waterfront of Sturgeon Bay, and we only own the property where our museum building is. So the only way to expand the building was to go up. There had been plans to have a sort of lighthouse style structure in the 90s, and they eliminated that for cost, but we had some longtime board members who kept pushing that. And when Kevin and I came aboard about 6.5 years ago, we inherited a capital campaign for this project. What was supposed to be a $4.5 to $5.5 million project ultimately became a $9.2 million investment in our community, and the Jim Crest Maritime Lighthouse Tower, 10 floors of interactive exhibits that really comprehensively shares the amazing generations-long maritime history of our little community.
Well, that is tremendous leadership. So I just want to say thank you so much for taking the time to chat with me.
Well, absolutely. Thank you.
Now, one other thing I wanted to chat about is we are here at the CAMM conference in 2025 in Pensacola, Florida. Tell me a little bit about your work with CAMM.
CAMM is an outstanding organization. I was started with CAMM as soon as I joined the Maritime Museum. The first conference I attended was in Manitowoc, Wisconsin, just down the road from us. And now I have been honored by my peers, elected to the board last year, and now I am serving as treasurer as well. And I love these CAMM conferences because I learn so much from my peers, to see what other maritime museums are doing. And as we said before, it's kind of like a mutual commiseration society sometimes, because we all realize that we have very similar problems and challenges. So it's great to all get together and talk about them and see how we can figure out to solve them.
Well, thank you for your service. And all right, well, thanks so much, Sam.
Thank you, my friend.
I'll see you soon.
You bet.